I think it's legally justified. I think this is a very troubled individual who has done things that are worthy of prosecution, and so I look forward to that case continuing.
Even Democrats are admitting the new indictment against Hunter Biden is troubling. The president's son is accused of evading more than $1 million in taxes between 2016 and 2019. Reaction from Miranda Devine is coming up, but first, David Spunt is live in Washington to catch us up on the news. Hi, David.
Hi, Dana. This morning, Hunter Biden and his legal team have 2 federal court fights ahead of them. That's in addition to some other cases, for example, the one where the president's son is suing the Internal Revenue Service. But in this recent tax case out of California, the government claims between 2016 and October 15th, 2020, the defendant, meaning Hunter Biden, spent this money on drugs, escorts and girlfriends, luxury hotels and rental properties, exotic cars, clothing, and other items of a personal nature. In short, everything but his taxes. Now, the charges over his taxes, not really a surprise. Special counsel David Weiss, you see him right there, said in a court document back in August that he would likely charge Hunter for tax crimes in California or Washington, D.C. After that plea deal fell through, he chose California. That's where Hunter Biden has called home since 2018. Here's Hunter's attorney, Abby Lowell, just about an hour ago.
Did he file a false return? Did he evade taxes? I'm ending where I started. Goes into court, a yes or no.
It's not a yes or no, because you want to drill. No, of course it's not. In order to file a false return that's actionable, the following things, depending on the statute, has to occur. It has to be willful. It has to be deliberate. Hunter was late in filing and paying taxes in certain years. That is a given, as are millions and millions of Americans who do the same thing.
As you point out, though, both Republicans and Democrats in the Senate, the body that once included then-Senator Joe Biden from Delaware as a member for decades, say they're on board with these charges.
I think Hunter Biden is going to be held accountable in court for any violations of the law that he's committed.
Well, if his name were anything other than Biden, he wouldn't have been able to bilk millions of dollars from foreign entities. So let's start there.
Hunter also facing federal charges on a gun purchase from 2018, meaning he could face 2 trials next year, the same year his dad is running to keep his job as commander-in-chief. Dana.
David Spunt, thank you for catching us up.
So Miranda Devine's been writing about this story for, seems like years now, from the New York Post. Miranda, thanks for coming back. A couple things here, tracking the money, years of wild spending on screen. I mean, take your pick, 1.6 million in withdrawals. Various women, you go down the line, health and beauty, adult entertainment, and on it goes. You write today that the reason why Joe Biden is not mentioned or connected here is because of what the whistleblowers have said. And what the whistleblowers have said is that every time they took an accusation to a higher superior, they were denied. And you point out a search warrant of a cottage on Joe Biden's Delaware estate was denied. A plan to search Hunter's storage unit was leaked to his lawyers, which gave them a heads up. Questions about the big guy not allowed. Questions with Biden family members were banned. Can they do all that?
Well, they did, and they got away with it. As well, the most serious charges that would have occurred in the 2014 and 2015 years that had to do with Hunter's $1 million a year payments from Burisma, and which might have ensnared his father, who, of course, was the vice president at the time and was point man for the Obama administration in Ukraine. Those have just magically disappeared because David Weiss and his team in Delaware allowed the statute of limitations to expire. So there were just so many ways that the deck was stacked for Joe Biden, and it looks nakedly like an attempt to protect the vice president, the future candidate for president, now president. And so, you know, I find it just ironic when the likes of the New York Times say, oh, well, look, Hunter Biden might have been late on his taxes, minimising the fraud, but it has absolutely nothing to do with Joe Biden. I mean, it has everything to do with Joe Biden, as some of your clips have just shown. Hunter would never have earned any of that money if his father had not been vice president, and these favours were being sought by corrupt countries and adversarial countries.
Now, Miranda, in all your reporting, do you know who was tipping off the Biden family?
Well, look, numerous people. There's supposedly an FBI mole that tipped off Hunter Biden to these 4 sealed indictments in the Southern District of New York that named his Chinese partners. Within the Delaware U.S. Attorney's Office, there was a prosecutor who's now been taken off the case, Leslie Wolf. She seemed to be the one who was tipping off Hunter Biden's lawyers that there was a search warrant coming up of a storage unit of his. Somebody in the FBI tipped off the Biden transition campaign in December of 2020 that there was an IRS agent and an FBI agent in California who were going the next morning to interview Hunter Biden. And needless to say, they never got to interview Hunter Biden.
Wow. So the story goes on. Miranda, thank you so much for coming in today.
Hey everyone, I'm Emily Campagno. Catch me and my co-hosts Harris Faulkner and Kaylee McEnany on Outnumbered every weekday at 12 p.m. Eastern, or set your DVR. Also, don't forget to subscribe to the Fox News YouTube page for daily highlights.